it's City Farmer Johnny. City Farmer Johnny, what have you been up to lately?
Folks, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have several stitches still on my forehead. I spent the last 18 days in Strong Hospital in Oklahoma for most part due to an accident that occurred down in the Grape Festival. And people are now starting to say, geez, can you do a video to kind of put us in line with how you're doing and things like that, because a lot of people are wondering how I am doing. So what I've decided to do is to do a brief historic conversation on three pieces that I've got here that I've turned into lampshades. Back when the city of Rochester sold the Fire Academy to Monroe County and MCC, I was ordered to take these tips to the scrapyard.
Okay.
En route to the scrapyard, every firehouse I stopped at, the guys wanted to buy them. So I got back to the supply depot and asked my boss, what do you think they're worth, scrap-wise? He said, oh, about 30 bucks. So I gave him 40 and took these tips. These are historic tips. These two tips right here are from a fire tug that they scuttled in the Lake Ontario probably back prior to 1940. The significance of these tips were that during Prohibition, when the rum runners from Canada were bringing illegal booze over, and the police or sheriff's department confiscated the booze and the ships and sank them, these tips right here were actually on the boat. I think if you went back historically and got photographs of that old boat, you would see these particular tips. Now this particular tip, I call it, it's my Japanese pagoda, and that too is another tip. These are all tips that I purchased and have been making lampshades out of, and someday perhaps they'll be of a historic value, which I think they are already right now. This is a shell lampshade, and basically it's just something that I put together.
So the ship that was scuttled that had these tips on it, that's still in Lake Ontario somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's about a mile outside of the river. Lake Ontario in the river. I think that's where they scuttled it. I'm not quite sure, other than what happened was when they decommissioned it, all this equipment went to the academy, and then when the city sold the academy to MCC and the county, all this stuff that was in a closet I was told to take to the Kriegers
to scrap it out.
To scrap it out and get money for condiments and coffee, and I basically just gave them money for condiment and coffee. And I have these tips, and these are beautiful tips. The problem with this one is that the base is so thin that if I glass this thing will tip over. This one, on the other hand, the base is thick enough for this. So I'm sitting on this right now until I come up with a design or come up with a wider base on it to keep it steady enough. But all these lampshades that, that lampshade right there, for example, I made in the basement of a firehouse while I was on duty. So these are all fire department related tips, which,
All right, well, thank you, City Farmer Jack. Now, City Farmer Jack, I've got one question for you here. I notice on your shirt it says Rock Island. Now, what's the significance of Rock Island?
Okay, Rock Island, this was I think it's a baseball team from the 20s. Yeah, this is one of their jerseys. Rock Island Railroad baseball team.
Okay.
This is the company that I bought these from on the internet. Sold Rock Island T-shirt.
All right.
Baseball team. So that's just hanging out, doing a little, trying to get back to healthy again and do some more stuff.
All right, well, thank you very much, City Farmer Johnny.
Thank you. Have a good day.